here in this video, we have all of you guessed it, Tesla stock breaking news to go over. And let's start with some of your biggest news today. The number for domestic Chinese insurance registrations will come out tomorrow morning. Here you can see this is hitting the headlines more today than it did yesterday. A Tesla delivery center in Beijing, China has reportedly had its highest volume delivery day yet, with footage from the site showing it full of both cars and customers. So odds are good that tomorrow's number could be a good one. And this could lead to a further breakout of Tesla stock. Switzerland's central bank reduced its position in luxury electric vehicle maker Lucid by 36%, while also trimming its stakes in Rivian and Tesla by 3% and 4% respectively. Regarding Tesla, one of the Swiss National Bank's largest holdings, the bank disclosed they sold 4%, amounting to 364,400 shares. The current value of its position is 8.57 million shares. It is over $1.53 billion. So it's not like they're dumping out of Tesla, but don't be surprised if Wall Street tries to say that. But they did dump out of Lucid pretty substantially in the last quarter. The EV market in Malaysia continues to grow. Tesla is quickly catching up with BMW's EV sales by launching the Model 3 and the Model Y under 200,000 RMs. Malaysia wants EVs to account for 15% of the total industry by 2030. Here you can see in this chart, BYD dominates the Malaysia market as of right now, but Tesla is, well, catching up to BMW most specifically, but also gaining ground on BYD that had an earlier start in the country than Tesla. If you missed it in yesterday's 8 p.m. video, ChatGPT 4.0 gave a new Tesla stock prediction over the next 12 months. In a bearish case, ChatGPT says Tesla stock could fall between $120 and $150 per share. In a base case scenario where there are multiple headwinds and Tesla works through them over the next 12 months, you could see Tesla stock between 180 and 220. In a bullish case, with Tesla achieving significant production milestones, delivering strong financial results, and making technological advancements, could see the stock rebound between 250 and 300. But let's be honest here. I think by June of 2025, you could see Tesla stock at all-time highs if things go as we hope they do in the broader economic sense. That means the labor market and the economy continuing to do okay. That means inflation falling and the Fed able to cut rates, in my opinion, 2 to 3 times this year, with the first cut likely coming on July 31st. Currently, that is not what the markets are pricing in for July 31st Fed day. You're only pricing in a 10% chance of a rate cut and about a 90% chance of a continued pause. But as we get 2 more inflation reports before then, 2 more economic data reports of all kinds besides GDP, I think the consensus will grow that the first cut is probably coming July 31st. This could set you up for a macroeconomic tailwind to Tesla stock. And if we get, let's say, a cut July 31st, a cut November 7th, a cut December 18th, or in the early part of 2025, you could really set up for a strong second half of this year for Tesla stock. Also worth mentioning that Friday, Tesla stock was up 3%, heading into a long extended weekend. That's a good sign the start of this week could also be strong. You're not usually going to see a lot of buying pressure on a Friday if you're just going to give it all back coming on Monday. In this case, on Tuesday, because today's Monday and stocks are not trading. On Friday, option activity was extremely bullish from hedge funds and institutions, as I previously reported. 100% positive order value is insane for any given day. Normally, you don't see anything like that. Over the past week, though, you had 98 different trades from big money, totaling $158.3 million, with a positive order value of 37%. It looks like last week, hedge funds and institutions, they started off bearish on the week for Tesla and ended up very bullish by Friday. Tesla's short position currently sits at 3.79% short interest of free float, with $18.86 billion currently in short positions. And you do have 105.2 million shares that are sold short. That is actually a fall from where we just were at about 107.5 million shares sold short. So about 2.3 million shares or so were covered in the last couple of trading days. Probably on Friday, I would imagine. Did have volume of 50.5 million shares traded on Friday, which was a lower volume day than what we typically see. Tesla stock was up 3%. 2.3 million shares potentially being covered on Friday could make a lot of sense. Google Trends data today for the Cybertruck is just exploding higher. This thing's off the chain. Now at 95, which is just incredible. There is a lot of searches happening for the Cybertruck by regular everyday people and potentially customers. And I think inevitably over time, this will lead into a halo effect for the rest of the Tesla brand. Nonetheless, the Model Y search trend activity is still elevated, sitting at 40, following the 1% financing rate on the Model Y in the US, now being offered by Tesla, at least for the next couple of days throughout the month of May. I'm sure Tesla will just extend this into, Q3 as well, because why not? It looks like it's having a lot of success in boosting up the order book, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the Model 3 is next, and, well, that would probably, be a good strategy to use at this point, is just buying down the interest rate instead of cutting prices. You see the Model 3 search trend activity is ticking upwards from 24 to 25. The Model S is going from 11 to 12, and the Model X is going from 9 to 10. So really an increase across the board for search trend activity into Tesla products. Next Monday, we will get your Q2 delivery number, and I think based on some of this Google Trends data that we're seeing, we could be in for an upward surprise. Over on StockTwits today, sentiment for Tesla is neutral at 51. Yesterday, it was neutral at 52, so there's that. Message volume is actually higher today than it was yesterday. I think some people may have not known markets were going to be closed today. And maybe they're getting on here and talking about Tesla a little bit more than usual. Yesterday, message volume was low at 33. Today, it's low at 36. So a little bit of an increase there. And the participation ratio today is ticking upwards to 56, which is better than where we were over the past 2 days, in between that 54 and 55 level. Here to start a new trading week, the Fear and Greed Index over on CNN is neutral at 53. 1 week ago, you were greedy at 64. Market momentum is greed. Stock price strength, fear. Stock price breadth is neutral. Put and call options is neutral. Market volatility is neutral. Safe haven demand is greed, and junk bond demand is fear. Futures markets were open for trading at least a little bit today, and you did have the Dow up 0.15%, the S&P up 0.23%, the Nasdaq up 0.4%, and oil up about 1% at the time of recording this video. And you did have 10-year Treasury yields slightly ticking lower by almost 1 basis point. The percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average, about 3% of all stocks out there on the markets, broke above that 50-day moving average on Friday, which was a sign of a pretty broad-based move higher across all sectors in our markets on Friday. Your latest AI investor sentiment survey showed bullish investors at 47%, neutral investors at 26.6%, and bearish investors at 26.3%. An upwards rise in bullish investors, bearish investors, and a drop in neutral investors, which was quite interesting. As we do head into this week, technicals look strong for Tesla. Yes, we do have resistance coming up, but we should be able to break out of at least some of these levels in this upcoming week, as long as tomorrow's domestic insurance registration numbers out of China do not come in too bad. You are currently above your 20-day moving average, heading into resistance around 180 to 181. Above that, you have your 100-day moving average at $185 per share. And then you are going to have your next level of resistance around $200 per share. And then your 200-day moving average at $213 per share. Really, if you get above 200, that's where things start to get quite exciting to the upside. Tesla's RSI is currently at 53.45, which is pretty neutral, and the MACD is still positive, trending to the upside, but just on a slow and steady kind of pace. Overall, Tesla stock continues to hit higher lows, which is a good sign that maybe we do get a continued breakout from here. So let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.